Happy New Year! It's our first episode of 2026, and it's also my dad's birthday. So happy birthday to you. I have a couple of questions to help him reflect as we celebrate another trip around the sun.
Oh, thank you, Armondi. And as always, we start the show by learning more about the newest addition to the Boomer and Millennial family, Ava Marie, who's probably joining us right now. It's Armondi's new dad update. Have you gotten any sleep lately?
Sleep? Absolutely not. New perspective? Yeah, you could say so. Plus, it's also the college football playoffs, and the Bulldogs. Oh, the Bulldogs. The NFL regular season is over, and the Falcons ended up tied for first place, which is very surprising.
Yeah, go figure. And in entertainment, what happens when you get emotionally invested in a series only to find out it's never coming back? Well, that happened to me, and I know the pain. And two of Netflix's most popular series come to an end in 2026. That and much more on this New Year's birthday edition of Boomer and the Millennial. And I am Reggie, the birthday boomer.
And I am Armondi, the Millennial, and we are back at it like crack addicts. And let me tell you, that's exactly how I feel with the lack of sleep that I have been getting. Mercy.
Yeah, mercy, mercy, mercy. Well,
yeah.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
You know?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday. All the formalities, of course. How do you feel? Another year around the sun?
Yeah, well, I'm here. I'm blessed,
Okay.
As you get older. All the boomers know this. You are blessed to celebrate another birthday. It's great to be here celebrating in LA with family and friends, particularly Ava, my first birthday with Ava. And her first New Year's. We celebrated New Year's together. So it's been a lot of fun being on the left coast, as they say, and I've been enjoying it.
Left coast, best coast, or what?
Yeah,
West coast, best coast, or
that's what they
how
say.
you feeling?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Being in Colorado, I'm like, it's weird because it is the West, but it's not. I don't know. It's somewhere
you're
in
the
that
middle.
That limbo.
Literally.
I'm in between Midwest and West. So I
you
don't
are
know,
definitely in the middle. For boomers out there, you know how it is. Sometimes you go through your directory, on your phone, and you look, and there are a number of people who are no longer with us that are, in your contacts. It's like, oh, okay, that person's not, that. And then you go down to another 10, and you go, oh my goodness, that person. So
you gotta clear them out.
I'm just happy that when you scroll down in my name, I'm still here. So
that's real, and in relatively good health, and
relatively is
good
key word, key adjective.
Hopefully in good mental health, and everything. So it's good. I'm glad to have you around for another year. Again, glad that Ava was able to celebrate with you and be here, and we all were, and everything. And yep, there's Winston at the door. So hold on, let me
He was just
let
down
him.
here with me.
And it's so funny. The little shade, I like raised it just a little bit so I could see if he's ever there. And he like was at the door, and then he was, and now he put his head down, so he's looking right at me like, "You're not gonna let me in? I know you see me." He's like, "I know you see me. You're not gonna let me in."
That's funny.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm on dad duty. So I got Ava with me. Sorry, guys, if you hear, oh, there she goes. If you hear her, she's making an appearance. And then Winston's also in here as well. So we're making it work. Listen, I do it for you guys. I do it for the Boomer and Millennial family. So
yeah, she is always welcome to be a part of this. And she seems to be really excited whenever we do this.
Yeah, I know.
So how is she progressing? I mean, I've been able to experience the granddad part of this thing over the last week or so. It's been really fulfilling and just a wonderful thing to see her. And even though she sees me and she laughs and then she cries, so I don't know what that. I don't know what that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. You're okay. You're okay. Okay. Here. You want your pacifier? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Oh,
Sorry.
you're talking.
You're funny. Yeah, I don't know. It is weird how she does that. She does like smile at you, and then there's times when she's cool with you, and then there's times when like she sees you and she starts crying, and I don't know how to help you. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I think it'll get better with age. I don't know.
We've been bonding. I mean, I've been able to hold her a couple of times where she just, we'll look at other things and I'll distract her and she'll forget that
There
Maybe
you
it's the
go.
beard. I don't know. I know, Nia's dad has a beard, so who knows?
Gotcha. I
But
have no
anyway,
idea. I don't know,
we've been,
but
and I saw her cry I mean, not cry for the first time, but we saw at breakfast, we saw tears. I mean, you all said she's been crying with tears, but it's the first
yeah,
time we seen tears.
she's been showing real tears for since 2 months. So just an update, guys. If you don't know, she Ava just turned 4 months
Yeah.
old on the
This
6th.
week, yeah.
So
So we celebrated a
yeah,
bunch of birthdays. Your Aunt Regina on the
right.
7th. Ava was 4 months old on the 6th, and now, we're recording on my
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, so she's 4 months. How's it going? How is she progressing? She's learning. It's very interesting. I'll say this: there's a positive and there's a negative. The negative would be, I would say, the sleep regression, right? The 4 month sleep regression. It's tough. She is. Man, sometimes like she'll give us a good stretch of time where she is sleeping in the middle of the night and then she'll wake up and maybe you got to feed her and then she'll go back to sleep. And there's times when like she's up, like just up and uncomfortable. She's teething in the early stages of teething, so that's uncomfortable for her. So some it's getting harder to soothe her at times, or sometimes it has to be Nia who's soothing her, or me, and not like say Gma or Gpa or Aunt Regina or whatever. So yeah, but positive. All of this just means that she's growing, she's developing, she's learning. So yeah, I don't know. She's doing this new thing with her lip, where she folds it in. Don't know where that came from. And holding things better. She discovered her toes, which is cute. So she holds on to her toes when she can get to them. And yeah, I mean, she was almost feeding herself earlier today, holding the
Yeah,
bottle.
we saw
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, taking it out, putting it
Give
back
me
in her
this
mouth,
bottle.
which is crazy. Yeah, that's exciting. So that's exciting. And
Yeah.
Mama and Dada are in the trenches right now. So,
So let me ask you
you
this.
know,
What lessons do you hope she learns just by watching you? Deep
I don't know.
questions. I know
That's a
one.
hard.
One
What?
is to smile.
Yeah, which she does a
And
lot of. She does
yeah, I
smile a
mean,
lot.
you
So
sing to her and you
yeah, I
rap to
rap to
her
her.
different,
Yeah,
and I think just learning how to smile and be attentive to things that make you smile. So I could
yeah.
see that, you're
Okay,
gonna
that's a
do
good
so.
answer.
Yeah.
That's a
Thank
good
you.
answer, G
There
Paul.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like especially like this young, yeah, something like smiling is something that she'll develop. But like, obviously there's things when she's older and she can comprehend things a little bit more. But yeah, smiling for sure, laughing. Hopefully she's like laughing here and there, but not fully. And I'm ready for her to like laugh. I want to make her laugh
Yeah.
and everything. Hopefully she'll have a good sense of humor. I think that she will because she's my child. So, and Nia's kind of funny too.
Yeah.
She's not kind of funny. Nia is funny. I would say, is the funny parent, but that's just me. So
Well, she seems to respond to you both in that way.
yeah,
I think more so to you, but hey, I'm not getting in the middle of that.
hey, yeah. Well,
So,
hey, hey.
so let me ask
So,
you this before we move on.
uh-huh.
Are traditions more important or flexibility at this point?
I think at this point, like I remember, when she first came on the scene, and I was telling you, like the one thing that I learned from parenting so far that was really prevalent, I think, like ever since Nia was in labor and everything, is that parenting is pivoting. So having to adjust, having to be flexible, like you said, and do things differently than you might have planned or you might have wanted to. And it's whatever is best for Ava and the family and everything. So just having to do that along the way, having to adjust things, having to adjust holidays and get-togethers and just things here and there because there's a new priority. We're in it, we're doing it, which is cool. But I will say like it's not always the easiest, and it takes some getting used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Like having to be, you got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to pivot and just be able to do what it is that's best for your child, and that's what Nia and I try to do, and I think we've been doing a decent job so far. She's alive, what I mean, and
Oh
we're
yeah,
still
she's
married, and
happy
and we're not insane, so
and growing, and yeah, you got a lot on your plate now because you are back to work and
yeah,
Nia's
both
back to
back to
work.
work.
and
Yep.
then you've got school. You're back at school, so
Yeah,
everything now is
just started
added.
the quarter again.
Yeah,
Yeah, the new
to
quarter.
to the new addition to the family. So like you said, you
Yeah,
pivot, you work all that out.
we're doing it one thing at a time. But enough about me. It is your birthday, and everything, and this is a celebration. And I wanted to ask you. Yeah, yeah, and so
Yeah,
did
and
Ava, if
so
you
did
can
Ava.
hear her.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to ask you, some questions like, in this new year, like, what's something that because it's really interesting that your birthday is right after the new year. So
Hmm.
imagine that anything you're like reflecting on is also reflecting on all of 2025. You know what I mean? For the most part. So, or you have all that time to sort of, reflect. What's something that you're proud of that you did, that you accomplished this year? And then what's something that you're looking forward to accomplishing or doing, or something that you're looking forward to in this new year of life?
Oh wow.
That's not that crazy.
No, it's not that good. A couple of things. I'm glad that this past year I was able to kind of spend more time on my projects. Pretty much
Hmm.
100%, which was good. I got a lot done. I mean, it was got more done. I tell people in the last 6 to 8 months than probably in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, just because I was working, in another position or consulting, which took a lot of my time, and it was amazing, even with all the things just for the projects I'm working on. I mean, I was swamped. I mean, it just, and then to think that I was also doing some other things. So I think doing that and being able to survive, I will say it's been a challenge because
Yeah.
everybody wants a regular paycheck or a consulting fee that's coming in that that's going to be there. And as a boomer and getting Social Security, for all of you boomers out there that getting Social Security, and it ain't, it's not all you need, obviously. And what little retirement you have. That was a good thing. I think having to go through radiation for the prostate cancer reoccurrence, as they call it, and getting
Hmm.
that taken care of, and 37 sessions of proton radiation and coming
Yeah.
through that. So far, cancer is not there. I mean, my PSA is,
Yeah.
undetectable, which is good. Still have to, my next checkup is in February. So it's an ongoing thing. But that was caught very, very early. So actually able to get through that. And I look forward to a prostate cancer free 2026, first and foremost. And hopefully to be able to finally have this documentary done by the summer, maybe with your help, as we progress by the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just looking forward to moving some of the things along, and the prostate cancer project being the
Hmm.
documentary and of course the podcast. So
Yeah.
and then also working on some other things that been on my mind to do, or at least
Hmm.
explore partnerships in order to get some of the
Okay.
projects done. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and of course, above all that, getting to see Ava develop and looking forward to her first birthday in September.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
cool.
How does it feel
2026,
being?
looking for a Bulldogs getting past the final round. I guess that could go into 2027.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah. We'll see.
I mean, not the
We'll
final
see.
round, the first round. Have mercy. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's
We'll
what
we'll get to it.
we'll get into that. Yeah, two things that I think we're all kind of looking forward to. One is, this is an election year, so there's going to be a lot of things going on. I know personally some folk running for local and statewide office, hopefully helping them with their campaign in anywhere I
Okay.
can.
Cool. Cool.
Um, and then there's a national election, so that's going to be interesting. And also the FIFA Cup is coming to the U.S. and to Atlanta
Yeah.
in
Yeah. That's gonna be a
2026.
lot. That's gonna be a whole lot, to
So
be
it's going
honest
to
with you.
be,
But
yeah, it's going to be
yeah.
crazy.
I'm actually
Um,
really happy none of it's near us, because I can only imagine traffic wise and like people wise and everything. That's going to be a lot.
so some big
Yeah.
events, and if you're into the Winter Olympics, that happens coming up in Milan. Just would love to go to Milan, but not a big Winter Olympics fan. But that's happening
Okay.
in 2026. So you got some of the broader things
Okay.
that are going on.
Hmm.
Looking forward to some of those benchmark type things. And like I
Okay.
said, I mean, what about you? Anything in particular? Or did you have
Yeah, I'm
another
looking for.
question for me? Was that the
No, I
question?
mean, I think that's pretty. I mean, you gave a very hefty answer.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's what boomers do. I like the word
no, it's
hefty.
okay. I love it. I love
You
it.
know.
No, I mean, I think that, I think all of that stuff is really good. And I'm just thankful that you're here. Thankful to have you for another year of life. Thankful that you're here to be Ava's G Paw for another year,
Mhm.
really the first year.
We said before, I mean, as 2026 starts, that means that football is winding down.
Okay, that
And
was a good
then
segue.
I think gotta move it along, gotta move along,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
Got
mean,
things to do
listen,
on my birthday.
I feel like this is a solid outline. You were like, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
got the
yeah, yeah.
formalities out of the way. Now
Right,
let's
right.
talk about sports. Okay,
We got the deep thinking done, and we're not even gonna quell
the
on
thought provoking questions
yeah, we're
and
not gonna look at current affairs and the craziness in Venezuela,
mm,
and yeah, we'll deal with that
I
later. We're gonna give you all a New
yeah,
Year's,
and
you know,
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
kind of upbeat
I
edition.
yeah. Yeah,
But
although we again, I think that being said, we are privy to the things that are going on right
oh yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
don't take that lightly. Rest in peace to Renee Good,
Yeah,
the woman
who was
who was
killed?
shot and killed
Yeah,
in Minneapolis, and her family. So it's just tragic. Obviously, like anyone losing their life is just tragic, and in that particular way, and everything. So prayers out to the family, the city of Minneapolis, and just I don't know. I think a lot of unrest in this country. There's a lot of things going on, and we don't have to get into it this episode, but just we are privy to it, and I think we'll talk about these things later
yeah.
on.
Well, I think
um
too, looking at starting to have guests back on probably after this particular episode. I mean, we could get somebody on who's boots on the ground and talk about the resistance as it is.
hey baby girl, you're okay. Yeah, she just
Yeah, so
ate, so I was trying to
yeah.
burp her, but oh, there we go. I don't know
There
if
you
you
go. That
guys
was a
got
good one.
that, but yeah, that don't happen as often these days, so that was a
Yeah.
hot commodity y'all just
That
got.
was a good one, little Ava. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's smiling. She's like, "Yeah,
Good
I know."
job.
I
Good
was like,
job, baby girl.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a burp like I'd have after, a
Right
can of
after
beer or something."
me. Right.
So anyway, let's go ahead and get through this
Yeah.
time of mourning for the
Yeah.
football. For let's get through the,
That's that's
you
really
know,
what it is. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, what do you want to talk about first? You want to cover NFL, or do you want to do the college football?
let's do college football. Let's
Okay.
talk about the
Well, here we
demise of the
are.
dogs, and
Yeah. I mean,
Oregon plays Indiana
tonight.
tonight.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think as far as that is concerned, I see Indiana winning. Again, it's hard to beat a team twice, and they beat Oregon already. And the same would be said for Georgia and Ole Miss. I mean, we had a bye. Luckily the curse was broken with Indiana and Alabama. Alabama did not win. The Bulldogs didn't make it. Lost to Ole Miss in true Bulldog fashion.
Bulldog
I mean,
fashion.
I'm not even surprised. I mean, I think it just sucks, right? Like that we can do so well during the season. And here's the thing: I think I'm here for Gunner Stockton, cool. Like, but when is Georgia gonna have really an elite quarterback that doesn't transfer? That gets playing time and that actually can do. When I say elite, I mean accurate. I don't even necessarily. I like that
Well,
Gunner can run, but like he can't throw on the run, and like
yeah.
that hurts us. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
mean, in Trinidad, he did
And
that.
that boy, listen,
But yeah, let me just say this. I mean, I watched some of the critical plays, pivotal plays where he was able to get out of trouble, and they
yeah,
really didn't sack him. And
yeah,
I'm looking at the defense, man. Defensive line guys. I don't know where the secondary, but anyway, they were just he was outrunning them. They looked like they were about to pass out. I don't know what kind of conditioning. I
man.
don't know what kind of defense was going on. I'm going to say this. Gunnar Stockton is a quarterback like Stetson Bennett who
Hmm.
can manage the game. Problem
Hmm.
is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to
Hey, say it like it
look,
is.
as long as Bobo is the
Yep.
offensive coordinator, we will never go to another national championship. Todd Monken, who was the offensive coordinator for those years where we had back-to-back, he took Stetson Bennett, who was, by all indications, an average
Oh,
quarterback. I
and
mean,
he, I
he's
mean,
not even
if
playing
I'm,
in in the NFL.
yeah,
He's playing, but he's on the bench.
yeah, and if you were to ask me, I mean, granted, yes, did we get those two championships with Stetson Bennett? Yes, but I would argue that Gunnar Stockton's a better quarterback than
Oh, he
Stetson
is. Yeah,
Bennett,
yeah. And look, we had an
statistically.
elite defense, and I get that, but you still got to score points. And Todd Monken knew what he had. He knew the
Hmm.
talent. He knew the
Hmm.
abilities of Stetson Bennett. And
And most importantly, he didn't run the same dang plays
right, right,
all the time
right.
every game.
Right. And then you get a
Like,
trick play, when you fake the punt and onside kick, you've got to do those kinds of things to win. I get it, but that shouldn't have been the case.
yeah,
We're a
you don't have
better
to get to that
team
point.
than
Yeah,
Mississippi than
yeah,
Ole Miss, you know.
yeah. I mean, like we should be at the national championship.
Yeah.
We should have
Yeah.
been playing Miami, and then we have the ability to beat Miami. I'll be honest with
Oh
you. I
yeah.
watched that
Yeah.
game. Now, granted, Georgia, do you go in and you play with a chip on your shoulder the same way that I'm sure Carson Beck would have played with a chip on his shoulder, being the previous quarterback of Georgia if he would have had to play them. But y'all know what he's capable of. And I'll be honest, I watched Miami and Ole Miss, and I'll tell you what, though Carson Beck won, I'm sorry, though Carson Beck scored the final touchdown for Miami to secure the game really wasn't secure. And Carson Beck was very close to choking. He was very close to Miami was up. All they had to do was manage the clock, and then Ole Miss scores again, and Miami gets the ball, and it's like Carson Beck. I mean, the only thing that really saved them was penalties, was pass interference. Like I think they got two pass interference calls on on their final drive to secure the game. Otherwise, it would have gone to, they would have been going for it on fourth down. And there's no telling, like, Carson Beck wasn't making the smartest decisions or the best throws, you
Well,
know?
and
So,
that's his MO
yeah.
when he gets into that kind of pressure situation. He'll
Yeah.
make mistakes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
Um,
I honestly think whoever they play, whether it's Oregon or Indiana, I don't think now Miami's run game, nice. Their running back Taylor or whatever his name is,
yeah,
I
but
think his last name is Taylor. He's
yeah.
nice, but I don't see them.
Look,
I don't see them winning.
I got to see Indiana's defense, and there are just some
Yeah,
teams that
yeah.
are destined.
They're
Now,
elite.
I know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
work.
yeah.
He ain't play anybody. Da 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 da. But now that
Yeah.
they're in the
Okay.
playoffs,
Yeah. Now
we're
that
going
they've
to
beaten
see.
Ohio State,
Yeah, and we're
they've
going to
beaten
see.
Oregon.
We're going to
Yeah,
see
like
them. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they beat Oregon. I don't see
I
Miami
don't see
having a
Miami. Yeah, yeah,
chance.
yeah, 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 yeah. Mendoza's the he's the Heisman winner. Like
Yeah,
that man. I think like when I watched them play the last game, it was like okay, this is going to be tough for them. Like when I watched them play, who was it, Alabama? I'm like, okay, they're getting to him. Like they sacked him maybe once or twice in the beginning of the game. After that, it was like, okay, I understand it now. And that boy went off. He just needed a second to adjust, and it was like they couldn't be stopped. And they're gonna do the same thing to Miami. And if Miami ends up winning, I will be very, very surprised. No hate
yeah,
to Carson Beck, no hate to Miami.
yeah. I
Um,
just.
I think it's very different. It's cool to see different teams in the championship this year. That whatever. Like I
Well,
want a
yeah,
good football
we can
game.
say that now. It's
Yeah, well, I try to say that to ease my pain, but I'm really pissed off because I know Georgia's like they can play so much better, they can do so much
yeah.
more, and yet here we are yet again, losing to a team that we should have beat. But
And the amazing
that's
part about it is 2 years in a row, you end up winning the SEC championship, which is not an easy thing to do. And out of the
no.
blue, you end up with the tiebreakers and everything actually going to the SEC championship, as did Alabama.
Hmm.
And you win convincingly, and you kind of, got that monkey off your back. So you're looking great.
Yeah,
You got 3
you kind of
weeks to
let's
get
be honest,
people
like yeah,
healed up.
you gain a little bit more
Yeah.
respect, I think, right?
But
Like you
the team that played Georgia Tech, now they didn't go into 8 overtimes. They beat a pretty good Georgia Tech team, but again, they kind of reverted back. But I will say this. I was really impressed because they had the lead. They had the lead
yeah,
going into the
yeah,
half.
which is
And that's,
yeah.
that
Usually
normally never happens
yeah,
anyway.
usually we're a second half team
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened to us in the
And
second
it was
half,
got
but
flipped because
yeah,
then
yeah, it was
my
bad.
Ole Miss became second half team. But I
Yeah.
still think at the end of the day, the defense is decent. Kirby will get them whipped into shape. I
And
just think that the
yeah.
offense and
Yeah,
Bobo,
we need Bobo needs to this is what needs to happen. Bobo needs to get it. We need to get him out of there. Get him out of there. Then we need for us to get an elite quarterback. We need somebody to
well,
commit to Georgia that's we need an Anthony Edwards. I understand
they
that Gunnar
had
Stockton's from Georgia, but
yeah, they had a
who do they
top
have?
they had one of the
Yeah,
top
but not anymore.
quarterbacks who decided to go not to Georgia, but decided to go to Vanderbilt of all places. I mean, like,
Yeah,
okay, I can see you go to Alabama, you go to Ohio State, you're 4 or 5-star, whatever. But to turn down Georgia to go to Vanderbilt, now I will say this, that these kids really don't understand. They see they're about now. So yeah,
yeah.
Vanderbilt had a very successful season. Everything came together, but can they
They're thinking
sustain
about
it?
NIL money. Like
Yeah,
it really is. And I'm all for like
and there's
I
always
get
the
it. Like,
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there's always the portal. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I think that
Well,
when
you
this,
heard the whole thing about the Washington the quarterback for Washington, right?
oh yeah, he wants to go into the portal or
Yeah, he's gonna stay. He decided to stay, but
stay.
probably because Washington University would have they were gonna hit him legally. Like you
Yeah,
can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't sign
right.
a contract and then be like, okay, now I'm
I'm
going
out of
to
here.
transfer,
Yeah. So at that whole
before the
NIL
season
thing,
even starts. That's crazy.
yeah, that's that's why you have a team like Indiana that's able to get to where
I
they
like
are.
that
But
coach.
again, I think you can have all the talent in the world and
Hmm.
Ohio State, anybody else, or Georgia,
Hmm.
but you still have to have the coaching. And I
Hmm.
just think that we have to do something offensively. Before we move on, your prediction for the national championship.
Hmm.
We got a game tonight, so we're kind of predicting. You might hear this, and the Oregon Indiana game would have already been played, and we might be wrong. But what is your prediction of the national championship winner?
Indiana.
Yeah, me
I
too.
got Indiana winning it all. We'll see if Oregon can come in, play with a chip on their shoulder, and after being beat by them, and I believe in that game, Indiana came back from losing, like in the fourth quarter. So if Oregon can stop them, cool. But I don't see Miami beating Oregon or Indiana. Yeah, what do you
Yeah,
think, Ava? Who do you got winning?
Indiana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Indiana. So
Indiana.
whatever you say, Dad. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just upset the Bulldogs lost. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. You and
I
me both.
I can attest to that. I can see her expression. And that's
Hmm.
me, Ava. I get it. I get it. So anyway, the Falcons finally got rid of Coach Raw. Raw. He's gone.
Yeah.
Hurrah. Raw is out of here. Funny because they ended up with an 8-9 season, which basically was tied for first place. The only reason they didn't go
Hmm.
was because of all the tiebreakers. The NFC South is so horrible. Had they won one
Yeah.
more game, they would have been in the playoffs. But
Which really sucks because you got one of the best football players in the country in Bijan Robinson right now.
yeah,
I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the Falcons now that I'm a Broncos fan.
right. Well, yeah, y'all doing well.
Out here, what, 14-3? Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
first, second seed in the West or
first
something.
seed, yeah,
First
yeah,
seed, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Come on, got that
yeah.
home
Home
game.
game, yeah,
Yeah, come on, Bo. Come on,
yeah,
PS2. Come
yeah.
on.
So
So we'll see. But I think you have great talent in Atlanta, and it just Yeah, I think when you think about the same thing with the Bulldogs, it comes down to the coaching, comes down to now Michael Penix Jr. He's got a lot. He's got to grow, obviously, and then he ended up getting hurt. So then you got Kirk Cousins coming back in, and I'm sorry, like kind of got one foot out the door. It seems
Yeah.
like.
Well, he's probably not going to be here around, but you got to give it to him. I mean, he won some games.
Yeah, he did. He did. Kirk
And,
Chains.
again, somebody like Michael Penix, he does not play from under center, which is crazy. And, all of his stuff is shotgun. Again, coaching was an issue with them. The offense coordinator was bad. Coach Raw was bad. Remember, there were some games they lost on the front end because of his horrible time management, making mistakes that, your second year as a head coach. Well, it's not your second year as a head coach because you were head coach at Tampa, but here you are making rookie mistakes as a coach. And then the kicking with Cool went crazy. He couldn't, he
Yeah,
was
when he
getting his
missed the
foot
kick, that
stuck
was.
in the turf. Who does that?
I'm like, there's no way. Young
Who does that?
Hoku. And what's crazy is I had him for fantasy. I had him for fantasy last year because I was like,
Oh yeah.
let me Young
Yeah.
Hoku. That's my boy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Where's Michael Vick's number? Young Hoku.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Georgia State grad, he went to
I don't
Georgia
know.
State. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, brother, it's you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. That's a
I
quick
know.
way. Like kickers don't lose their jobs like that, but he sure did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And kicker they brought in after him lost his job. And the third kicker finally,
Yeah,
had someone that was
what is happening?
halfway consistent.
Look, let me tell you what's gonna turn things around for the Atlanta Falcons. And that is, because there's a GM, position open now and everything. I would
Right.
say, this new position they're trying to give Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, the president of football or whatever. I don't know, but the president of
It,
football, Matt, help them
yeah.
boys out. Because let me tell you, whatever they doing now, ain't yeah, Ava, it ain't
No.
working.
So we'll see. I think that was needed to happen. Poor Arthur Blank, he just can't seem to get the right folk in here. I mean, I don't know, what's his the fourth or fifth new coach in 10 years or 5, 8 years. I don't know. I can't even keep track. But we'll see. Every year, something new happens with the Falcons and everybody's all excited. And then they win a couple of games and they lose like 7. So we'll have to just, with the Falcons, with the Bulldogs, got to pack up, wait till next year. And now I'm going to put all my football cheering and support behind your team and Bo Nix.
Go
And I'm gonna
Broncos.
become a Bronco.
Yeah,
Um,
come on.
so and I'm gonna go with Indiana. I'm gonna root for them. I will watch, more than likely I'll watch the championship game, but
Yeah, I mean, if it's
I hadn't
on,
been
sure.
really,
And I'm not working, sure.
I'm not that
But, hey,
excited.
fun.
Well, all right. So real quickly, I got into this thing that was new on Netflix called Moonhaven, which is
Okay.
sci-fi, kind of pretty
I'm so
convoluted in a
sorry.
way, but I followed it. I was like, okay, this is an interesting concept.
Earth.
I
Okay.
got through the first season, and then
Hmm.
trying to, Google and find out a little bit more about the series, found out that it was canceled after the first
Doesn't
season.
that
So
suck?
I'm like,
Yeah.
why even put it on
I
Netflix? I
hate
mean,
that. I hate that.
and then of course it's the first season and nothing
Yeah.
is, there's no, I mean, it's just getting started, right?
Yeah.
So there's no conclusion to anything.
Yeah.
And boom, that's it. I
That
mean,
sucks. Yeah.
you know,
And I think like, that's why for me, I think unless it's a show that is you're watching reruns of, so like Friends or like Seinfeld's on Netflix, right? And like, okay, there's 9 seasons of Seinfeld. Cool. When I go through all of this, I know when I hit see at the end of season 9, the only way I'm watching Seinfeld again is if I'm restarting it or watching random seasons, right? So I think like for me, I like limited series because I feel
yeah.
like it's longer than a movie, but there's a conclusion. Like it's not like you're expecting another season and you sort of have a full circle conclusion hopefully in that limited amount of
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, I like that. And after getting kind of bamboozled by Moonhaven, I've been watching over the holidays Homeland, which has 8 seasons
Okay, so
and
you got a
12
while.
episodes a season.
Okay, yeah.
And so I am on the final season, which is season 8. And I was wondering
Okay.
why, back in the day, it was winning all kind of awards and Emmys and things like
Is
that.
it good?
So, oh, it's very good. Yeah, it's very good. I mean,
I
you
haven't
know,
seen it.
the first 3 or 4 seasons are great. Then around 6, 7, because it's 6, 7,
Okay.
right? I didn't even know I was saying that, just so you know. But anyway, around the middle toward the end, the storylines get kind of, how it's like the writers get sort of not lazy, but like, they start just throwing things
Oh,
against
so
the
Stranger
wall.
Things.
Yeah, just throwing things. Well, what if we do
Oop,
this? And what if we,
oop.
oh, hey, that's
Yeah.
great. But I do know that the 8th season is the final. I'm pretty sure they had a series finale, though I haven't checked. But 8 seasons is enough whether they thought they were
Yeah,
going to
it's a
have a
solid amount of
ninth
time.
season, right? Or not.
Yeah.
I think
I
after
mean,
eight
which is very
seasons.
hard to do in television now, I think. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Do the
think the
run
only
for 9 seasons.
Yeah, normally if you're on that long, you know that you're done and you have a series finale. I remember what didn't happen was Girlfriends that had been on for 8 seasons, and because of the writer's strike, they never came back. That was their final season. They were never able to conclude or kind of wrap things up. They talked about a movie that never happened. To this day, it hasn't happened. I am glad though, just on a side note, speaking of series that sort of got canceled but didn't that could go on. It's nice to see that what's the that your mom loves. That's gonna have a movie coming out this month, I
Peaky
believe.
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, yeah. Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
they talked about a movie, it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, which we didn't
Um,
know. I mean,
yeah,
I think it took some time, one, because again, you had the other strike, right, of 2023. And then also, when you really think about it, Killian Murphy has been working on other things. He was doing Oppenheimer, like you know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm
yeah,
sure he was busy. But yeah, Peaky Blinders got a movie, so that's great. And I know Mother's gonna be looking forward to that. She loves that show. I mean, I also love that show too. It's just been a minute since I've seen it. So I need to find some new television to watch. I was just watching Stranger Things finish the 5th season, and I have my positives and my negatives. We don't have to go through all of that, but I think it's still not my favorite season, this final season. And not happy with the way they wrapped everything up, but I mean, it was
yeah.
very nostalgic, and I think growing up with these actors and them growing up on the show and seeing them get emotional about it coming to an end, and it made me a little emotional seeing it end. And I think Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows on television in the last decade or so.
Yeah.
And you can always expect good quality from that show, regardless of if it's your favorite
It's
season
kind of
or
like
if
when Game of Thrones ended,
yeah,
it
it's the
was kind of
same thing, like now, granted, was the ending to this better than I felt the ending to Game of Thrones? Absolutely, but same thing. Like the longevity of the show, you know what to expect, and I just think that in this final season, it just kind of fell short a little bit. It was a little rushed. Same thing with Game of Thrones, but at the end of the day, people don't want it to be over so bad that like they were calling something conformity gate, saying that like there's a ninth episode coming out on the 7th of January, and really the ending wasn't the ending. It was just all in Mike's
yeah,
head
I
and all
heard
of
that.
this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And
They had sort of a coda, if you want, which I didn't know what it was until it's like this alternate ending or something. But
hmm
anyway, even with Mike talking about 11, that it was
yeah, and
projected
maybe she's
through,
alive,
he's a
and
lot, and then they show
yeah,
her in
yeah, and then it's up
Ireland
to
somewhere.
you, the ambiguity.
Yeah,
Like I get
yeah.
it, but like, come
So,
on, just tell us,
and they say, "Is
just
it
give
true?"
us.
Well, I hope it is. So, but I
Yeah,
mean,
I
they didn't want to. I don't think they wanted to kill off any of the main cast.
Yeah, which I'm
Um,
glad that they didn't, but I think my thing with Elle, like isolating herself, my issue was I felt like you spent 5 seasons reinforcing the fact that, hey, 11, you do not have to go through life alone. You do not have to do any of these things alone, right? And then to have her find her family, find, the people that she loves, her friends, you know what I mean? Right, Ava, that's what I'm saying. And
yeah.
then she just chooses not to be with him. And it's just like, I get it, but like, what was
Well, I
all of
will
that
say
for?
I'm looking forward to. I think the documentary is on now, so
Oh, up now?
yeah,
Okay.
I
About
believe
the
so,
making of the final season.
or soon. They talk about the Duffer Brothers, talk about writing the last scene and the whole thing with the new generation coming down to play the game and the door closing at the end and how and they show some of the table reads where You could see the
Yeah, I'm
characters getting
interested to see
emotional.
that.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of nice to see, I think, and that gives closure to some people too, just to see the
Yeah,
creative process as to
we'll see.
understanding why they did what they did. And maybe
Yeah,
that'll quell some of the,
probably
folk
not,
going out
but
on
we'll
the
see.
deep end, on the deep
We'll
end.
see. It's really
Um,
not that serious, guys. Like, I mean, it's
no,
television. It's
no.
fine.
I like,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I like sci-fi. There's always some
Yeah,
big
that's
monster in the end that you got to
yeah. I
kill,
think
and
I think
you
what
know,
I liked about it was like it wasn't convoluted for a sci-fi. It was sci-fi, it was fantasy, but it was very easily digestible. The characters were lovable, like it was different, it was interesting. But you know what? Listen, is it sad that it's all over? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. And that just means, hey, that more television, more new television is on the way, right?
yeah,
Speaking of which, January 15th, shout out Aunt Regina. We got the
yeah.
final season of the
Up
Upshaws
Upshaw's on Netflix. Yeah,
on Netflix. Come
coming
on.
up. So if you're
So,
listening to this, go ahead on and
tune
o-
in.
tune in, click on it so that you'll get the alerts that it's coming up. It's going to be really, really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
We
we were
were
at the final episode
we were
taping.
privy
Yep.
to be at the final episode, the
Yeah.
series finale, and we're at the
Got to see
wrap
Aunt Regina do
party.
her in her
Yeah,
director
and
bag.
her
And
director. Yeah, yeah. The last
yeah, man.
episode, it was emotional, as
Yeah.
you work with somebody for 6-7 years, and
Come to an
come
end.
to an
Yeah.
end. So we got to witness and be a part of all of that. But it is
Yeah.
it is still funny. You got to
It's
tune in.
hilarious. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a really funny show.
and I think it's 8 episodes. It's only 23 minutes, so you could
Yeah, it's a
really,
quick. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Y'all could like if you haven't already tapped in, which is shame on you because the show is
Oh,
just
just start
fun.
watching. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like start watching it now. Like you'll get through the episodes, you'll get through the seasons, and then like be sure to watch the new
right,
season,
right.
final season, January 15th. So it's gonna be good, man.
And
And
if you
shout out
want
Aunt
to
Regina.
laugh, if you're feeling down with all this other stuff going
Yeah, all
on,
this stuff going on in
just
the
just
world. Turn on
just
the
click
upshows.
on it. Guarantee you will laugh and
Yeah.
you'll feel better.
I mean, looking forward to that coming on, and I think some other seasons of other shows, later on down the line and stuff, but we'll see. Found is on Netflix now.
Yeah. Yeah, a
So,
lot of things
that's
on.
cool.
So anyway, we got a lot to look forward to, and television wise in 2026, and unfortunately some of our favorite shows coming to an end in 2026. We are just looking forward to continuing the podcast. Thank you so much for everyone, all of our members of the Boomer and Millennial family, for the calls
100%.
and for
Love you
reaching
guys. The
out and,
support and
yeah,
yeah,
following us and sharing us, and we just continue to move forward. And thank you, Dangerfield Newbies, obviously, for the music that you kind of get us in the
shout
groove
out.
at the beginning and the
Yep.
end. We appreciate
Yep.
y'all and all the great things that Jamal and Mark Angel are doing as a part of this ensemble group. If you haven't heard the Dangerfield Newbies,
What you doing?
yeah, right.
You
And
living
remember,
under a
it's
rock.
Dangerfield, the word danger, FEEL, and the Newbies is, I think it's NEEBIES or something. Yeah, look them up on Spotify.
Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, which, by the way, is where we are located. Our podcast on all of the podcast platforms. You can check out Boomer and the Millennial. And also, you can go to our website at boomerandthemillennial.com. Listen to past episodes. Reach out.
We're gonna
to
try
us.
to be a little bit more consistent in 2026.
Yes, yeah, that's the other thing. We're gonna be here for you. Just looking
More
forward to
Ava
it.
appearances.
Ava, yeah. Maybe by end of the year show, she's saying
she'll
Dad,
have words.
Mama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we get
Dad.
or Boomer. Granddaddy Boomer.
Millennial. Beta. Gen Beta. That's you.
Beta, yeah.
Gen B.
Yeah. We're gonna have to say Boomer, the Millennial, and Gen Beta. How about that, Ava? You think that's good? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's shaking her head.
You collect your thoughts. You get everything together.
You want to say something before we go?
Any words of wisdom?
Is she looking at me or she?
No, I don't know what she's looking at. She's probably looking at the sun.
No, because she was looking at me, she'd be crying. No, she's all right with me in the box. It's just coming out of the box. Glad we got this in. Great birthday present.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Let me go ahead on. We're on the West Coast, so I still got some time.
Yeah.
To celebrate the rest of the
Everybody
birthday.
leaving tomorrow, man.
Yeah, we're heading back. So when you're hearing this, we'll be back on the East Coast, and We thank you for tuning in, subscribing, liking,
Mm-hmm.
and sharing. Stay with us. And as always, in parting, I am Reggie the Boomer.
And I am Armondi the Millennial.
And Ava. Yeah. Okay.
Good job. Yeah. Okay.
And we are out.
We're out.
Peace.